right. Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, man? We're like trying to find the best spot to put the phone.
That's been the game this whole quarantine.
How are you, man?
Good. Cheers to you guys. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday evening, right? Because you guys are 3 hours ahead.
Yeah.
And I hope you guys have been well and safe during all this freaking craziness going on. Seems like 2020 won't end.
Yeah, it's been a year. We were just talking about that.
And even so, your guys' basis, because he's in LA right now, right?
Aaron lives out in LA, and he actually just
in North Carolina right now.
No, he can't. He went back to LA.
Yeah, he's out in LA. He went back to work and stuff, doing like carpentry and stuff on.
Well, I hope he's safe too, because it's just as bad in LA as it's anywhere else. So it's like, especially in the Hollywood side. So I hope he's doing well. I'm sure he's watching. It's Tehran, correct, or Taryn?
Taryn.
Taryn, okay. I don't. Well, you can say Tehran. I'm sure you can get more girls that way. Make it sound all fancy.
That's a nice.
Before everyone turning in, I'm sitting down with Richie, Tommy, and Alyssa of Mindscar, Orlando based. They're back in action after a little hiatus, maybe about 5 years or so, for some new music. And how's it feel back? How's it feel good? You guys just dropped My Masochist, first single in 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, it feels really, really good. I mean, originally we had a meeting at the beginning of the year, and we're like, okay, we're going to release the new stuff and tour as much as possible. And then, the pandemic happened, and it seemed like now the every day it's like a new set of new circumstances, I guess, that make this year so unpredictable. So
yeah, I know this threw a corkscrew for everyone's tours, concerts, and releases right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. And I honestly, I think it's fair to say that like normal touring is not going to resume until we can do it safely. And that could be like, a year or two realistically, as sad as to say, I think it's the truth.
I'm curious about it. So the first metal concert right now that's going to happen is going to happen in San Antonio next Friday. Standing room, not a drive-through. So I'm curious that's going to take the leap forward, see what happens.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely interested to see the statistics after all of that. Hopefully, it turns out well. No huge spikes happen. That would be obviously ideal.
There's been a lot of other events too that's been going on.
Yeah, there was out in Virginia, the Blue Ridge Rocky Mountain Winter Festival. They're doing a 3-day festival, like the only one, and everyone's going there, Black Label, Motionless, and stuff like that. So that's another thing there. It's still happening. So like Corey Taylor said in an interview earlier this year that these smaller festivals are going to have to do it and kind of take the sword to the chest and see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Just to see if we're going to be safe. I'm like, oh crap, I'm not sick? All right, cool.
Yeah. I actually, like when I'm not tour, I've worked in different bars and stuff. And the place that I'm working at right now, just like we're doing 25% capacity. And sometimes, I feel like I'm getting exposed to a lot of people. I mean, I'm wearing protection at work, but I feel like, I don't know, it's like, I think that's like something that even like every day I'm thinking consciously about. So I know I can't expect people to want to go to shows the same way until the day can feel safe,
What do you think venues should do? Like this Texas one, they're going to try to limit social distancing, and they're going to try to. They say no mosh pits. I mean, it's a metal show. Wear masks if you choose to. No large gatherings. I mean, what do you guys think that's going to need to be implemented for shows to finally happen again?
I mean, it's really hard. It's really hard to like enforce all those types of rules of social distancing. Like kind of like going around, have to remind people like, hey, break it up, like having extra security there just to kind of like enforce those rules. But I think people, it's like a courtesy, it's like you wear your mask to protect someone else the same way they wear a mask to protect you. It's kind of like practicing all those things is like a common courtesy that we should do for each other until we know that it's safe. But I think it's really hard, man. Like even like we're working in a bar at night and stuff, and sometimes now if there's people together, I'm like have to not, somehow suggest that they don't congregate with large groups and stuff.
Yeah.
But right now, I mean, even right now with the protests and stuff, that was like one huge thing I was thinking about is like, is there going to be a major spike in cases now that people are just like in such large groups together? So I don't know, man. I honestly hope that it's just that things can return to normal sooner than later. But I just know it's going to take time and doing the right steps and stuff, and all of us working together to make it happen.
Dude, 100%. And it's like they're even saying like this could have been here longer beforehand. Like you guys had your last show back in November, right? You guys were doing a stream of shows in the Florida area.
We do. I think our last show was in Puerto Rico in December.
Oh, Puerto Rico. Oh, shit.
I think it was in November, right?
November.
Yeah, it was in November. You were right, dude.
I forgot.
But, and like myself, I've traveled a lot around during that time. So it's like, is it possible you guys think you've been exposed to it prior to it? You're just traveling because no one knew. It was still like,
There was one year in NAM that everybody got really, really sick.
Well, yeah. I mean,
you thought you had it.
anthrax was different. But no, I don't think I came in contact with it. I feel like a lot of people think they did, but I don't know. I don't think any of us got exceptionally sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, just besides normal farts and all that good stuff you guys smell. Yeah.
Oh, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I feel fortunate for like all of us during this whole time. Like nobody's gotten sick or felt sick or anything like that. So I know. I feel like if I even got a little cold that wasn't coronavirus, I would be all freaking out that it is. So I just feel like very fortunate that my health has been good, or all of our health has been good during this time.
Yeah, thankfully. So, Amy, more so you were safe when you were out helping with the protests and stuff like that, because I know some of them are getting really crazy. I was helping down in San Diego, and it's gnarly out there. And I just hope we all can be safe and protest safely.
Yeah, and I just want to remind people like we're all in this together, and I think we're the ones that are going to fix this problem together, and it's love is going to be the answer to making and loving each other and having compassion for each other is what's going to be the answer to all of these problems that we're facing right now. But yeah, the protests are getting out of hand after a curfew right now. Here, once it hits the curfew, that's when that's when things are just kind of getting nasty.
I'm sure that's true for most cities too.
Yeah, it's the same in California. It's always after the curfew. Everyone's gonna do a little more extreme activities.
Yeah, and that yeah, I don't know.
He's trying to give you advice to solve the protests, and he can't come up with an answer off the top of his head.
But from this year's just been crazy. From coronavirus, I mean, fires in Australia, killer hornets. Hopefully, I was hoping for zombies personally. That's a little bit easier to survive.
We have some zombies over in Miami for you.
Not the brainless, not the fake plastic ones.
Oh.
Yeah.
But during this whole time, has this like sparked some new music creativity for you guys to write about, and, like new topics that can come out for the tentative EP release?
Yes, I mean the EP or the music that we have is finished. It's already recorded, so we're just working on getting it out as soon as we can. But yeah, I mean during this time we've taken advantage of the opportunity to continue to write new music, and we've actually developed like a new routine where I know some people get together and jam and feel it out, write music, and that's like we do that a lot. But we actually added kind of a structure to being creative, where really been conducive to writing new music and it's really helped us by adding like, okay, hey, we're going to warm up together for 15 minutes, then we're going to take a break, and then we're going to work on this one idea for, you know, X amount of time straight. Yeah, and then like instead of just aimlessly jamming and kind of burning out and being like, you know,
Seeing what poops out and like, oh, I like this one part from an hour.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, we've been riding up a storm, and I know that everything going on in the world right now has inspired. I was talking to one of my friends that's a vocalist last night, and he's like writing a whole new album with lyrics inspired from all the current events. So I know that we're about to see that from a lot of artists. However, our next release, Nine Knives, all that was already written, and it's already been recorded. So we're just I don't think that obviously none of the current events are going to affect the topics on the lyrics, but I do think that it will inspire some more lyrics from a lot of people, not just myself, but I know from a lot of artists.
Even especially now during the protests, I know I'm speaking with a phenomenal black musician next week. He's from Nashville. He's called Sam Houston, and I know he's going to be talking about a lot of music he's been writing during this process. And it's going to be interesting what this end of the year is going to happen. Let's see what 2021 will bring.
Yeah.
But going back into your guys' catalog, I mean, the last actual full album you had was Kill the King in 2015. And actually, for a fun fact for everybody, Matt Heafy was a part of that as well.
Yes.
So what happened in that gap?
Well, basically, we did some tours, and then like the lineup changed. And once that we settled on this lineup, it felt like a new band to me. And then we teamed up with Jason Sukoff at Audio Hammer, and then he really took his time with us and produced the band and pushed us individually as musicians and as a band to really become a new band. So it's kind of like, I feel like we kind of took the time to take every piece of the puzzle and make sure that it's like at 100%. Like anything that, you know, wasn't perfect is now, you know, in my mind, I'm like, oh, now it's perfect. Now, you know, it's it sounds and what I want it to sound like, the music that I'm trying to make. So it's really, really great working with the right team of people, but it definitely did take some time. It took more time than it probably needed to take, but I couldn't be happier with the recordings. Like, I really can't wait for everyone. I can't wait for you to hear the other songs and stuff, and everyone to hear it.
And how did you find the other Three Stooges? How did they all come in? How did you guys all mingle and find each other?
Well, actually, I met Taryn on an early Mindscar tour. He was in another band that was on tour with us, Infinite Earths, and I just remember every night in the back of my, because we didn't have a solid bass player at that time, like a committed, dedicated bassist, and I remember every night in the back of my head, I'm like, oh, I want that guy in my band. He's such a good.
Aaron was like the bass player in Central Florida that everybody wanted in their band. You know, before I met Richie, Taryn was my bass player in my old band, and yeah, he was like the guy.
Yeah, I remember like on that tour, I had to secretly ask him like, hey, would you possibly be interested in playing bass in Mindscar? And he's like,
call me, maybe. Matt, call me.
Yeah, he's like, we'll talk when we get back. And then, yeah, man, Taryn's actually how I met Alyssa.
Yeah, Taryn and I went to this school called Rollins together. We were in the music program there, and obviously we were like the only two people into progressive metal at the time. Like, I saw he was wearing like a Scale to Summit shirt or something, like the first day. I was like, all right,
you're the cool dude.
Here. And yeah, and funny enough, like Richie asked Taryn to be the bass player for a Pantera cover band that he was doing like back in the day. And Taryn's not like super into Pantera, but he knew I like loved Pantera. And Taryn was like, do you want to like play bass? I know you're a guitar player, but do you want to play bass for the Pantera cover band? And I was like, and then I don't think Richie even knew I played guitar for like the first 2 years we knew each other. He was just like, there's a chick that like is pretty shitty at bass.
It was actually, it turned out to be a really fun show. It was like a Halloween show, and we dressed up as Kiss, as Pantera dressed up as Kiss.
I mean, that's how they started off anyway. They were all glam metal in the beginning. Wait, you didn't deny, though, that she was a shitty bass player, though. You didn't deny it.
I was not good.
Too small.
Hey, you never know. It's like, remember Kitty back in the day?
Yeah.
Their bassist didn't know how to play basses either. She just came in there and just kind of like showed up. So you never know.
Yeah.
I could have gotten better, but my heart wasn't. But Tommy.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, yeah, what about me, guys?
Who he was till he joined the band, so I don't know.
No, actually, so before Tommy joined, my friend Derek Roddy was going to play drums on our new stuff. And Tommy is a friend of mine. We had, jammed and played in other bands like way a long time ago. But he had hit me up and he was like, "Hey, can you give me Derek's number? I'd be interested in getting drum lessons." So he starts taking drum lessons from Derek. And then one day I'm about to head down to South Florida to go practice with Derek. And he calls me and he's like, "Hey, man, your buddy Tommy, you should jam with him. He got really good." And he's like, I was like, all right.
Did he really say that?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I gotta call him now.
And he
He
was
like,
like,
you was always talking shit to me. He said I always sucked.
I mean, shit. Playing with Derek Roddy is, something else.
but
He's like a king.
but then I jammed with Tommy, and I was just like, whoa, holy shit.
You're not the guy that I referred that number for before.
Yeah, I was just like, even now, like, we'll throw like stupid beat per minute stuff that I'm like, I know this is like something that is just like impossible to play, but it's never impossible for him. So
It's a fun exercise.
But do people ever mix you two up, or think you guys are brothers? Because you do pretty much look. You could be brothers.
Who's the better looking one though? That's
Has anybody ever confused us for brothers before?
I've heard the
Somebody-
comment a couple times.
Somebody thought we were brother and sister.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see that too. I did see these guys. I mean, I can see you guys all. You can even say and put as a promo, we're a family, literally. But it's like you guys all found each other organically and weird roller coaster way, but that's probably the best way as well, because you guys have a super technical sound, a technical metal sound, and that's how I describe it in a sense, because I know you want to go like deathcore or metalcore, but from your guys' sound, it's incredibly precise. Like if Conor McGregor had a sound, it would be you guys. Precise. And that's all he likes to do. And you guys, I'm jealous of how well you guys can play and sing at the same time. I'm like, fuck, how do I do that? Do I need to practice more scales?
I mean, it's honestly, that's one.
What do you have to do for that? How do you practice to?
It's honestly one of those things that I've always kind of battled with, because playing technical guitar parts and doing vocals, I just feel like I'm glued to the mic. I want to like run around the stage and like interact more with the crowd and stuff, but I realize that
That's why he got a girl, so that I can do like the hair flips and shit. That's really the
yeah, just for the hair, but
yeah.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Yeah, I mean it's a challenge. Like I remember a lot of times the first time we write a song and I'm like, man, it has to go like that, and I know I can't play that, and then I'll just practice it until I can. And we write. I think I write a lot of stuff like that, where I'm like, I have an idea, I can't even. I don't put it in a program. I write it on a guitar, but I'll try to do something that I can't do, and then like a day later I can do it. So I feel like that's the only way that you really get better and like keep growing and improving and stuff, is by pushing yourself like that as a musician, being like, oh, I know I can't do that, so I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, 100%. And I know I like asking gear tech questions as well, just for all the gear nerds out there, what you guys are doing. I know Alyssa's sponsored by Jackson. She's part of the Jackson family. And I saw that you had a BC Rich. Now, what are your guys' rig set up with your guys' guitars?
As far as amp,
Yeah, and everything with pedals and what are you guys using for?
okay, well, I use an Ingle Savage 120 head with like an old Marshall cab, and I don't really use any pedals or any effects except for like one boost that's like a lead boost, and then that at one point when I was the only guitar player, I wouldn't use a lead boost, but now I definitely need it with the two guitar players. And then ISP Decimator G string at the Decimator 2 G string is like definitely key for a lot of those really tight, like precise sounding chunky parts that have the little like silence without it eating away at the tone. That's really like the one thing that I feel like is actually kind of part of my tone or sound, as I take advantage of that noise gate. Like I really do. I always like that Fear Factory obsolete kind of sound.
Heck yeah.
When we just like have a little silence in between, it would be so impactful. So I think I tend to do that a lot when I'm writing, but I like that sound. And I get that from the Decimator. It really allows you to have that like the G string, the one that goes through your preamp and your power amp. That one really gets like the full clean sound where you can really dial it in to, like, I feel like when I can hear when people have noise gates on eating away at their tone, and this is the only one that I don't hear that. And I've tried a lot of them, so I know I really like that pedal.
Yeah, I don't use many pedals either. For this band in particular, like I don't even use the clean channel for our current live set. So it's literally just my EVH channel 2 or 3. I kind of like switch it up depending on the day, kind of. I still can't decide which channel I like better. But for solos, I'll just have like a little boost pedal. I use the EP boost pedal that, what's the brand? Shit. I don't know.
So you mean to tell me, as a great metal band and as a rock band, you don't need to have an effects pedal? You don't need to have backing tracks or anything to be a great metal band? What?
I just got like this, the HX effects.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just started messing around with that. I was like, I might give that a shot just to see if I can like get it to switch the channels effectively, like at the same time while being able to put on all these different effects. Like I want to have like, some reverb and some extra delay, like without like tap dancing and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now I'm gonna put Tommy on the spot. You two are both guitar players. Who's better? If there's gonna be a guitar solo, who's gonna win? Richie or Alyssa?
Alyssa.
Hold on. Well, I guess Alyssa would probably be the winner of that one. And I would both agree at that.
I think they're just being nice, honestly, but I'll gladly take them. That's fine.
Jason was noodling around during one of our like sessions where we're listening back to the track. We're like listening what we just did. And Jason's noodling around. Why don't you do this or do that? And he's like, I can't do it. Here, you do it. I'll tell you what to do, and then you can do that. So it was pretty funny. It's cool to see that.
Yeah, recording solos with Jason was super fun. He's such a great guitar player himself that like he just gave me so many useful tips and like kind of suggested that I tweak some things here and there and made the solos so much cooler and then made my playing so much better just after those recording sessions. So it was really fun.
Yeah, honestly, I love having a producer or like working with any engineer or producer that is like really hard to impress. They think everything sucks and they're not afraid. Like, yo, that's shot. It's like I need that person that. Because
I still think Jason thinks it sucks.
It's the best though. It's great having super critical of you. take your ego down a peg. Not that any of our egos are. We all think individually. We all think we suck, you know. But yeah, it's cool. It was fun. Were you gonna say something? I feel like I cut
You're
Richie
talking
off.
about with the producer. I'm
Well,
sorry.
well, no, it's just like I've definitely worked with some people in the past that would be like, I don't want to say easily impressed, but they'd be like, "Oh, that was great," and I knew that I could do better, you know. Like, and that's not
That
what
passive agreeableness.
a producer, I guess. It's really good to have that person that can cut you down and makes you build yourself stronger or whatever. So it's also really good at having like you know, the band members that are down to you know, that are up for the challenge, you know.
I'm just picturing him in like an all black suit, almost like German looking, and like, that's shit! And he hits you every time.
That's great. Yeah, no. Saying something?
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
So what's the rest of the year plan for you guys? Like, are you allowed to say what the EP date is going to be dropped out for? Is it going to be a new single verse or?
Well, I can tell you we did 3 videos and that have already been shot, and as soon as we're allowed to release them, we will. I mean,
We don't know like what is in store for anybody for like the next 2 years. So we don't know how to plan accordingly with everything that's going on, but it'll be released, you know. We just
It'll be released.
I think it'll probably be a thing where now for 2020, My Masochist is the first single we released. Right now it's exclusively on YouTube and Metal Injection, and it's not on Spotify or anything yet. But I think we're going to do this throughout the rest of the year, just trickle out and another song individually and keep you know, releasing some new merch and stuff online, and just kind of like doing as much as we can, like this, as much as we can from where we're at, since we can't tour and, you know, connect our fans in that way. We can do more things like this, and you know, at least for this year, and probably maybe all of next year. I don't really know. Every day, like I said, every day.
Literally, or every week. Oh shit! There's another. Oh crap! Now Killer Hornets. Oh fuck.
it'll be in, you know, aliens and asteroids next.
More like the Idaho aliens. You see that?
Yeah. But yeah, no, we'll release the music at some point, I guess, and hopefully tour in 2021. And
We're always
My ass will be there when you guys finally have a show. My ass will be there, for sure.
sweet.
And also for everybody else, I'll have their Bandcamp, their Facebook page, Instagram, maybe their MySpace with their, you know, profile song, their favorite top picks and all that, you know, their top fans, if people remember those back in the day.
Yeah.
But grab merch, because their My Masochist shirt is only 15 fucking bucks, $20 with shipping. That's pretty clutch, and it's pretty sick. Personal taste. I already put one in, so.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
Cool. We need to support artists right now, and like especially this. I think I remember Lizzie Hale put out an interview saying this is going to kill a lot of bands. I'm like, I don't think this during the coronavirus killed a lot of bands. I think it made new independent bands like yourself more alive, because now people are looking past the big names and finding stuff on YouTube, Metal Injection, going through Instagram and seeing stuff now that they never heard before, not just hearing on Sirius XM.
I think it actually is the damage is not going to be to the bands, because now the bands are going to be connecting more directly with fans. The damage is going to happen to the maybe venues or promoters, booking agencies, stuff like that. Things that won't be their jobs are kind of obsolete temporarily, you know. Where like even that was one thing. Just curious about this year and the way that it's going to affect relationship with record labels and bands. And it's really, I'm very curious to see how, how that all plays out, but I do notice people are connecting more directly with bands and artists and stuff, and that's a really good thing to see. And they're taking advantage of like social media and stuff like this to do that, and
Yeah.
I think that's really good.
Now, have you guys been doing that yourselves on your personal Instagram page? And I know you have the band one and you have your own personal ones. Have you guys been doing like online lessons, what a cameo shout outs, strip teases, whatever you need to do?
Well, listen.
Richie's
Oh, man. Alyssa,
Hey, well, if you got a grinder account, man, no worries. It's 2020.
yeah. I've been trying to grow my Instagram page. I started a Patreon. I've been doing one-on-one lessons with people via Skype since luckily before the pandemic. So yeah, everything you said, I've been working hard on.
the Patreon is like $2.
Yeah,
right?
it's just a little thing. What?
It's funny because it's only $2, so $2. Join Alyssa's Patreon. But people get so mad that it's only $2 that they write us like, "Hey, it's only $2." And I'm like, "I know," and they're like,
People are
they're
like,
like angry. I'm like,
people get angry that it's too cheap, and then people yell at me for charging money for tabs, and I'm like, whatever, it's $2.
yeah, it's like only $2.
Either
And
you're going to want to learn or you're not. And you're a phenomenal guitar player. It's Jesus, you make me feel insecure.
Thanks, but I hope that's not. But yeah. Oh, sorry. What were you gonna say?
Oh, no. Go continue.
I forgot.
How about yourself, Tommy? Have you been doing any drum sessions or anything via Skype, or what have you been doing?
No drum sessions. I kind of feel still like a student of the game, so I'm always trying to learn. I'm doing a lot of learning myself through this whole thing.
And you also make art, right? Correct? You do art and like tattoo work?
Yeah, I tattoo for a living. I like to paint, draw. But yeah, just trying to do all that stuff during all this thing has been good. I've been painting a lot.
Tommy did a couple of his art pieces through his Instagram. He did a raffle for, which were really awesome. So if you follow him on Instagram, from time to time he does artwork raffles where you could just win his art. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
And actually, you have a fan here said he found the band itself from Alyssa's tutorials on her Patreon account.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Wait. Say that again. I couldn't
Yeah,
hear.
one of your followers, Ravens, found you guys through Alyssa's tutorials.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome. Cool, man.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So everyone's getting connected. You guys are going to, I know it's going to take a little bit. You guys had a small hiatus. I know, Rich, you're still the original band member from when you first started out. But that's a huge single with My Masochist that drops. And it's like creating a lot of buzz now and everyone's seeing it. And now everyone's kind of waiting for that next buzz you guys to drop. Like, all right, what's going to be the next sound? What's your guys' are you going to keep going on that technical deathcore style? Or are you going to have a little more melodic and like mix it up together?
Well, that's and we have both of those songs exactly as you described. Just described the other two exactly. So
Yeah, pretty much.
and
Yeah.
and I felt like My Masochist was like more right in the middle of them, so it was a good first one to put out. But yeah, there's definitely like my favorite song that we ever wrote. It hasn't come out yet, but it has a really long lead guitar sequence that Alyssa and I wrote, just like jamming and stuff, where it's like really fun guitar trade-off leads and harmonies in the leads, and just really fun. And that's like really melodic and really guitar players and stuff are really going to enjoy that. But we also go the other route and go even darker and heavier with another one, which I really love, like having that contrast, being able to have songs that are melodic and emotional and get under your skin, and also having like heavy stuff. But like I'm a sucker for the feels. So like if we have like any riff that's like really heavy but it sounds all emotional, I'm like, ooh, I like that.
I'm the same way.
And I'm curious about. It's always fun to hear what artists are listening to on their Spotify, iPhone, or whatever. What's a one like left field curveball that no one would expect that you're listening to right now? Each of you.
Folktronica is
What
what
the
I'm. That's the left field market. Folktronica.
Folktronica. What the fuck is that?
I can't explain it. You'll just have to go and check it out. It's like native tongue with crazy instruments that's kind of blended together with modern hip hop style stuff. That's my left field listening.
They're like, why is he bringing up this shit again?
I'm intrigued. Go ahead.
I love this pianist, Tigran Hamasyan. He actually just released a new video that's like really awesome, but he plays sometimes with a quintet, sometimes with a trio, but just the music he composes is so amazing, and it's really actually heavily inspired me over the last couple of years, but it absolutely doesn't, like, stylistically doesn't really sound anything like you would expect me to listen to.
I just actually recently re-listened to that album Mock Root of his.
Oh yeah.
And the live version is so good that I like wear that album out all the time. The one he's from the dude he's talking about. He's awesome. For me, I listen to so much different music. Like
I'm expecting Taylor Swift.
nothing against people who like Taylor Swift, honestly. Like truly. I don't know. I like I mean, this might be surprising, might not be. I like a lot of like R&B and like neo soul music and jazz, and there's just so much stuff. On the way over, I was listening to this this duo called Yusuf Kamal. They're like jazz, neo soul stuff. I don't know.
But see, that's what I like to highlight what you guys are listening to on your offline, because that's also kind of correlating to your guys' writing itself, hearing melodies, harmonics, different riffs, different styles, and then it kind of like, oh cool, man, I like this, and I'll try bending it to my way and my style.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Everything kind of subconsciously seeps in if you like it, you know?
It's not like Slayer every
Yeah. No, like have a really diverse playlist that we listen to, and it's not by any means all just like technical death metal. But yeah, I think that's true.
Yeah, and I know a lot of touring musicians and metal bands can relate to, like, after you're on like a tour that's like a month or two or longer, and there's like, I don't know, 4 or 5 heavy bands every night, and just constantly hearing this loud music. It's heavy. It's like, I know I love to write and create that, but I don't necessarily enjoy to listen to it, and I know all the time, and like on tour, I know at some point it's like I can't listen to metal every day, like all day. I'm like I want to listen to, like, I actually listen to like Beethoven and Bach and like Shostakovich and classical music. I love classical music and
Now
stuff I feel like they wouldn't even expect. They'd be like, what?
I'm just picturing Boondock Saints now, and you're just like dancing around, listening to classical music.
I'm sure that's happened.
A lot of podcasts too.
Yeah.
To get away
for
from
real.
the music, to take a break, and to just listen to a conversation is so nice.
Yeah.
I prefer that.
Yeah, I listen to tons of podcasts. Tommy and I are like huge.
We discuss podcasts.
On the road and during rehearsals, we just like constantly just talk about.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring up Joe Rogan.
NPR, just because it'll have, like, I don't know, more insightful on current events. Yeah.
The hell, what I can hear from just Masochist and then the previous, which also when you go back to their old music and Kill the Killing, they have an amazing cover song of Nine Inch Nails. That was a great rendition of it.
I'm glad you like it. A lot of people that I love Nine Inch Nails, and it's probably like if I could collaborate with, I got asked this in an interview, like if I could pick one musician to ever collaborate with, I would pick Trent Reznor. It's like I think one of the best composers ever. And it's funny because I feel like it's obvious to me that a lot of people that like metal don't like Nine Inch Nails, and a lot of people that like Nine Inch Nails don't like metal.
Which is
because when we put that out, it got such a negative response.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like from a lot of people that either liked Nine Inch Nails and hated that it was so heavy, or they liked heavy stuff but hated Nine Inch Nails. And I'm like, I did that for me. I didn't whatever.
I think also the loudest people on the internet are the most angry ones for no reason. So I remember like before I joined the band, I was actually a fan of this band. And I was like, oh shit, these guys are awesome. And yeah, I loved that cover. I thought it was cool. But I never like commented it or told him in person. I was just like, this is rad. I feel like a lot of people think positive things and don't say it, and then angry people are just like,
want to say
True. Yeah.
yeah.
little penis syndrome.
Yeah. Yeah. But I thought that was an awesome cover too. I had nothing to do with it.
But because a lot of bands will do covers and they're like, cool, it sounds just like the original version, kind of the way, just in the rock sound, but it was completely different, and you change the context of it. And when you change the context of it, it sounds different. You can hear the lyrics different. Like Johnny Cash, when he covered Hurt, people didn't realize that was a Nine Inch Nails song. They were mind fucked after that.
Yeah, and I feel like that's such an amazing like compliment. You know, Johnny Cash's like covers your song.
Yeah.
That's like, I feel like that's like the best. Like you're like, all right, I made it. You know, covering your songs.
Now, going forth, do you guys think can do any? You're gonna keep playing your old stuff when you guys can finally tour? Are you guys do old stuff, or are you gonna stick to new stuff?
Both. The songs off Kill the King. I love all those songs. A lot of lyrics and stuff are really personal. Like, and a lot of the songs are very memorable and stuff. So I want to keep playing them. But one big difference now with like the new stuff is that I scream higher. I don't scream as low, and it's a lot easier for me, and it sounds better. So I'm definitely more excited to play new stuff, but definitely to have a long enough set and everything, we'll probably keep playing Kill the King, God's Creation, like songs that people are excited to hear.
Which like I'm seeing it. I'm forecasting it. I'm predicting the future. You guys are gonna be touring with Bleed From Within.
I wouldn't complain.
They're out of Europe, and they're another technical heavy metal band. Their new album that is dropped, Fractures, fucking gnarly, just gnarly. But I saw a question from actually one of Alyssa's fans that follows her on tutorials. They're asking that, what's your guys' home recording equipment? What do you guys use for home?
Do you want to go first?
I mean, I just have a laptop and an interface, like a basic thing that I do for like really bare bones kind of recording. I mean, and also too, you can really take that anywhere. You know, if I want to go record at a friend's house or just get in a different environment. But I don't really have much of a home setup.
Yeah, mine's pretty simple too. I just recently upgraded from the Focusrite to the Universal Audio Apollo Twin interface. And then I just got like a gaming computer and so that it would run Pro Tools without a lot of issues. And then I have a set of Yamaha HS7s, and that's really it. And then like for easy DI recording, I just, use plugins like the SS11X or the neural stuff, and
I like the neural stuff. I use that for like any of my at-home like pre-production that I do for the band. I used to use like my angle tone, and now I'm just straight using the neural tones for pre-production, and I really like it. I use the Neural DSP Nameless Suite, the Fortin Suite, and it just really, for the rhythms, it just really bites.
There we go. Paused a bit. So between the two, Pro Tools or oh my God, I'm already drawing a blank. Jesus Christ! Now I'm drawing right. Why am I drawing? Oh, Logic Pro.
Is
There we go.
Yeah, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
It must have been. It happens one time. Once in a while, it happens.
Gotcha.
But between Pro Tools and Pro Logic, what do you guys prefer?
I don't think it really makes that much of a difference. It's just whatever you learn first. I learned Pro Tools first, so now I feel like I'm kind of stuck with it. But I don't think it really makes much of a difference. Do you?
I agree. I don't think it makes too much of a difference. I think once you're getting in, I mean, for like at-home pre-pro and stuff, like I use Logic. I know you could really use whatever for that, but when it gets to like the final like studio quality recording, I think that's really when it matters. That's when I think Pro Tools could be best.
I don't know.
I don't know.
A lot of like really awesome mixes are, coming from people on a Mac using Logic and
Or Cubase or something.
yeah, or Cubase even.
Or Appleton?
Yeah. It's how you use it, dude.
Or it's kind of like, hey, you'll tour with the Hello Kitty guitar and you'll make that fucking chug.
Right. Yeah.
Which one of you guys aren't down to do that. You won't do it. You won't get or Hannah Montana. I saw that on OfferUp.
Oh, for real? Hannah Montana guitar? That would be kind of cool. I would rock it.
Yeah. Richard would pull that off a lot better than I would. I think.
I think if somebody suddenly had like a pink guitar, it would be me.
Yeah.
But thank you guys again so much for your guys' time. There's another question. So you guys can play any instrument besides your own? Oh, do you guys like to play any other instruments besides your main one? Anything else? Do you guys play anything? I know Rich has done bass before.
Plays the skin flute.
Excellent.
I think we all play drums. I mean, me less so than Richie and Tommy, obviously.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't play drums at all.
What's that?
I
You didn't know?
No.
Yeah, we don't know a lot.
But I think playing drums is like important as any musician, because I never realized how bad my timing was until I started playing drums, and then like I play a click, and I'm like,
And yeah, playing drums is super important to songwriting, I feel. Just having that like a more intuitive sense of like how the rhythmic structure is going to come together, and being able to hear it, like envision the drum parts, is super important, I think.
it makes it easier for us to communicate too. Like,
Richie's actually a really, really
Yeah.
good drummer.
Yeah,
I don't-
He's an excellent drummer.
Richie's like a real drummer. I'm not at all.
You're a jockey drummer.
Yeah.
So on this picture, have you seen the movie Whiplash with JT
Yeah.
Elliott? I'm just picturing Rich being Elliott yelling at you, faster, tempo!
Practice session is like, all right, let's try that at like 10 beats per minute. 260, we start playing, and it's like, dude, what the fuck? Some of the stuff that we're writing is going 260, 270 beats per minute, and I'm sure he was saying before, when you push yourself to play stuff that you can't play, you keep pushing, eventually it's going to happen. You just got to keep pushing towards that goal.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how we've been writing a lot.
Yeah, that's how I write all of my solos. I can never play them when I first write them, and then I learn them. But yeah, I agree with that mentality.
And then I have from S.E. Fisher, who wants to know what kind of pickups you guys are using.
Oh,
Or
I see
prefer.
that, dude. What pickups?
Hey, dude.
What am I using? Do you want to go first while I remember the names?
I always liked because I use like a pretty inexpensive guitar, a rather cheap model. It's discontinued, but it's a BC Rich ASM Pro. But I think it was like $600 new or something, and they come with the EMG 81 and 85, and that's just kind of like a classic crunchy tone that I always like, and I've always been happy with that, with the EMG 81 85. But on the recordings, I used 2 guitars on the recordings for my parts that were, one was an Ibanez with DiMarzio Tone Zone, and the other was a Kiesel, and it was with the Kiesel pickups. So I like both of those a lot. I think they're all great guitars, and but I do personally dig EMG pickups.
I think that's the staple for everybody.
Yeah, I remembered they're just the Seymour Duncan distortions. But one of my guitars had like the JB 59 set, which I really liked. But I've been using the distortions lately. Yeah.
Seymour Duncans are cool. I like Seymour.
I like Seymour Duncan too. I don't know. I like passive pickups, but it doesn't matter. It's
What are you
just
guys? Well, what are you guys' thoughts on active pickups then?
I like them. I don't know. Like,
I go through a lot of batteries.
yeah, that's the convenience thing. I don't know. I like the high output of active pickups. They can sound a little overly compressed sometimes, but also they give you an advantage that some passive pickups, can't give you in terms of just like that bite and high output. But I don't know, man. I think a lot of it is just in the hands. I'm not.
I think it's good for metal, but if you're wanting to like roll down on your volume knob on your guitar and like
Yeah.
get a cleaner sound, you won't be able to do that with with most
Yeah.
high gain active pickups.
That's why I like the passive pickups too, because I don't play a lot of it, I guess, publicly, but I like a lot of like jazz and lighter music and stuff. So like at home, I'll like have a lot of low gain stuff, and I'll switch to single coils a lot, and I write a lot of clean stuff. So yeah, I think that's why I'm partial to passive pickups. But yeah, like for metal, active pickups can be great,
And I totally understand. 'Cause I just picked up a Mitchell MS400, which the Mitchell is the acoustic line, and they have an actual electric line that people don't know about. Crazy underrated, single cutaway, and it's low fretboard. Fucking love it. But the same thing, I don't want to. Everyone's like, put some active pickups in there. I'm like, no, I don't want to, because I've been liking playing some bluesy, jazzy shit on this right now. It's actually perfect for it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, everything works in a certain context, You just have to find what your style is and figure out like what pairs best with it, I guess. But yeah, that's why I think, like passive pickups have like a little bit, maybe more of a wide range that you can pull from it. That's the only thing.
And it's going to come down to the guitar player, how well you are.
I would say, yeah, in a way too. I see how like they're more, in a way, a lot more dynamic. Like if you're trying to get that dynamic range of sound, but since I'm just going straight like metal, crunchy metal all the time or whatever, I'm happy with the EMG 8185.
Heck yeah. And I know they're going to be cutting this off in like 5 minutes because IG Live has a 1 hour time block. But if anybody else, any questions, I know, right?
Yeah.
If anybody has more questions, please pop them up before our IG kicks me off for indecent exposure.
It feels like it's been 10 minutes or something.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, thank you guys so much for your time as well on your guys' Saturday evening as things are kind of opening up and you guys are not going out yet and
I wouldn't have done it anyways, but thank you for your time.
Oh, here we go. This is for Tommy. What pedals are you using?
Right now I'm using Axis longboards. I've just had them I've been with the longboards. For me, it took about 2 years to get used to those longboard pedals because I was used to using the standard Tama Iron Cobras. But right now, yeah, the Axis pedals are what I'm currently using with the direct drive and all that stuff.
And I guess what he's wondering about is what would you recommend those for the technical stuff that you guys are playing for more of the, you know, like the deathcore continuous sound? Is that what you would recommend?
It's all about feel. I would recommend learning a technique over getting a certain pedal because the way I play is a swivel technique, and you could do that on any pedal, longboard, shortboard. When I first got them, I thought it would make my playing better, but then I just had to get used to them so much, and then it definitely makes it smoother, but it's all about technique at the end of the day, I think. I think you could do the same thing on a 1980 Yamaha pedal that's barely holding on.
I think what everyone can, from what you guys talked about each individually, what you prefer on your guitar, drums, and whatnot, is no matter what, it's going to come down to your playing, your practice, your playing. You can pay $1,000 for that freaking Fender Ultra Telecaster shipped out from Romania, handmade by little kids, and still play like crap.
Yeah, absolutely. Or play amazingly.
That's it.
I've kind of like I purposely play a guitar that is really affordable, so that way it's like, sure, like, you know, anyone can do it. You know.
Yeah.
We're all on a budget.
Yeah.
All and still.
Yeah.
Balling on a budget.
Yeah.
We're not.
What?
Guitars, just people are like just giving you shit. Please.
I just have one endorsement. 2.
Hey, it's a big endorsement. Jackson's a big endorsement.
I'm super thankful for it.
She earned it.
Well, thanks, dude. Appreciate it.
And I see the clock now. The timer's coming down, so I'm gonna put in. I'll have this uploaded on YouTube with all their links again for their music, and I'll continue to bump them as well. Support them on their Bandcamp, and please purchase their music from Bandcamp. You can stream it as well on other sources, but you can't stream My Masochist yet. You can only watch it on YouTube and on Metal Injection, which I've continuously been putting that and bumping it up, so you can swipe, tap, watch it on the pooper while you're showering, wherever you're at. Hope you guys stay safe too, as well, and look forward to the new music. I can't wait to fucking hear it.
Thanks, dude. Thank you for your time, too. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us, man.
Of course, you guys. And I can't wait to be at the show, headbanging and being there. And fucking, I'm glad to have found you guys' music. You guys are talented. It's a refresher. And from the old music and hearing the difference between the two and the new band members that you have, Richie, it's going to boom up, man. It's going to be great. Mindscar is going to blow up.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, cheers, guys.
Hey, dude. No,
That's the
Thank you guys again, and I'll continue to stay in touch with you guys, and I'll keep bumping your music as well.
Awesome.
cool. Thank you, man. Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
brother.
Of course, cheers, and have a great night, everyone. Everyone, please stay safe as well.
All right, yeah. Stay safe.